everybody. It is February 5, 2024. A lot to cover tonight. It is a madhouse, only getting madder and madder and madder. I hope you're all doing okay. Analog Synth Player in Linty, London, and 9Z Brooklynite. Hi, Brooklynite. I love my New Yorkers. I love everybody. I don't even use that word, but you know what I mean. Hey, I haven't seen you, so welcome. Welcome to the Madhouse. Rage Against the Machine. Hello. And let's see who else is in the house. Kenosis, hello. And John Stuart Mill, hello. Sherry Hughes, thank you very much. Tom Tomata. Kind of wonder about people. Andrew Cruz, Blues du Jours, Phil Strange. I saw this comment. It was a little strange, Tom Tomata, about how I'm sitting on my ass and letting Sherry do all the work. Where does that come from? Where? Trent Robb, hello. John Stuart Mill. Yeah, I agree, John. Many of the new arrivals have been fighting various levels of guerrilla warfare their entire lives. You people, us, don't stand a chance in hell. I agree. Oh, John, who is you people? Americans in general. I agree. Rick Yorkin. Trying to understand some of these comments. Donna Davidson, hello. Marty Lauderdale, thank you very much. You and Cherry, thank you. Your selfless consistency is really very, 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 very much appreciated, for sure. And let's see. I have a slight headache tonight. I had a headache all day. Seems to be a little bit better, but still there. And Lady J Homestead and Silent Walk and Bach Stabbeth. Hello. Oh, it's Tabbit. Your channel got banned. I'm sorry to hear that. But for those of you who don't know, Tabbit was stepped down. Now he is Bach Stabbeth. Sorry to hear that. Super Painting 62, hello. SCDHL5. Yeah, weird things are happening in the cyber world, for sure. Laura F. Larson, hello. Ray Clay, hello. Trent Robb. If I've missed anybody, I apologize, but hello. Hello, Julie C. Brenda Rose. Hypocrites Matrix. Oracle 11. Trace. Marsha. Okay. So, we're going to start with weather warfare and then go on to warfare. And then go on to warfare at the border. And than just crazy. The madhouse warfare. Well, let's look at radar, shall we? This has been here since, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock this morning. Really? Hanging out? This is your atmospheric river that some are actually calling a hurricane? Okay. California is known for its hurricanes, right? Wrong. Look at all of these extremely low frequencies going right through. Yeah, okay. Oh, don't you wish that people would just open their minds, have a conversation with their local conspiracy theorist about weather modification? It's happening. Weather is controlled. Okay, look at this cloud structure. This starts at 12:30 p.m. today. Oh, but let me show you the captures, or capture, I took of... I took 2. Okay. So this one was at 8:07. Look at this. This is Southern California. You got the circling precipitation down here, Florida going through the southern states. And look at this. I mean, it's a little rectangle, but the main the higher precipitation is kind of stuck. It's stuck in place. Isn't that interesting? And I hope you guys are feeling okay in Minnesota and Iowa and wow, blasting frequencies. But really, okay. Well, something is wrong with these weather fronts. And we all know what it is. Look at this. Wow. Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota blasting. They are blasting you with very dangerous frequencies. Hope you're feeling okay. But I decided to come back and check it out at 2:11 p.m. Interesting how. Well, oh, that's right. It's an atmospheric river. And that's why it's just not moving along. Oh my God. And this is still circling around. How many hours later? 5 hours later. The only difference here, 5 hours later, is that they have connected some of the dots and made it one weather front. And this is now at 5:09 p.m. Not moving much, and it's supposed to be going on until tomorrow. Oh, look at this little blast down here in Texas. Did that just start, or? Yeah, okay, well, something's going on down here at the border. Whole lot of frequencies. Maybe it's nanobot dysfunction. Maybe it's a nanobot revolution. We're tired of taking orders from humans. We want the orders from artificial intelligence. This is your atmospheric river. Oh my God. What a mess. What a flippin' mess. It's supposed to rain for 3 days in Arizona. And yeah. Okay. God, this looks like some nasty bug or fish or something. Look at all of the ripples in the cloud. 1:30 p.m. This is 2:30 p.m. Rippling along. And it continues. And 3:30 p.m. Nope. Manufactured cloud. And you can go to my Rumble Never Lose Truth channel to learn about how man can manufacture cloud in various ways. Ah, the ripple effect. So you're getting hit hard. Can't say it's hurricane, but apparently, well, people like Reed Timmer are calling it that. Arizona, are you going to be getting some of this? Seems to be connected. Are we going to be getting the atmospheric river? Well, let's take a look at the destruction caused by the atmospheric river. Well, here, nearly 1 million without power as a powerful storm strikes the California coast. Alrighty. San Diego, California. Alright, major flooding in Southern California. This was last week, but this is on Ash Pro's account. Ash Pro, I wish people would just follow the accounts of people who are working as hard as they can to get the pets that are displaced by these storms hooked up with their rightful owners once again, along with farm animals. Major flooding in Southern California will result in thousands of displaced pets and farm animals. Hopefully we can be of help to get them back home. Yes. And thank you, Ash Pro, for all of your work. So this was the major flooding. This was about 10 days ago. Unbelievable flooding 10 days ago. Oh, and I don't think San Diego has been hit as hard as Southern California. But yeah, yeah. What do you say, man? What do you say at this point? Large search and rescue is underway after multiple people go missing following an avalanche in Las Vegas, Nevada. 5 people missing. Wow. Alright, so hurricanes are getting so intense, scientists propose a Category 6. And it's climate change. Yes. As the planet warms, storms are increasingly surpassing what was once considered extreme. Now, 2 scientists are proposing a new label. They say a growing number of storms already merit Category 6. Climate change has demonstrably made the strongest storms stronger. It's all climate change. You know, all one need do is just put in, how about California weather modification? Simple. 3 words. Put in a search bar. That's it. Precipitation enhancement. Oh, California Department of Water Resources? Really? They actually modify the weather? California seeding, Santa Barbara County, the counties in California, I don't think one is not doing weather modification. Weather modification operations in California, weather modification in Santa Ana. Oh, man. Los Angeles Department of Weather Modification. You have a Department of Weather Modification in Los Angeles. Santa Ana River Watershed Weather Modification Pilot, California State Water Resources Control Board. After saying all of this for 13 years, you just get tired, and am I hopeless? Hope is just not on my radar. We need people. The Journal of Weather Modification, status of weather modification regulation in California. I'm just going to do one page. The American Meteorological Society, California Storm Characteristics and Weather Modification. Oh, yeah. Adopted. County of Los Angeles. The Weather Modification Project. It's easy. It's easy. But can you get people to put those 3 words in a search bar without calling you names? California Precipitation Enhancement and Weather Modification in North America. Yeah, governance of weather modification activities. It just gets to a point where you realize that maybe your headaches are not coming from electromagnetic frequencies, and they're just coming from smashing your head against the wall. Well, oh my, look at this. No. There's nothing like chemtrails. Geoengineering, well, they might have just done a couple of experiments, but I read somewhere in a mainstream media article that they were thinking of doing it. Okay. Reed Timmer. Cat 5, Los Angeles. Wild floods possible day 2. Cat 5. We are in piss poor shape, man. Just the collective mind in this country is gone. California hammered by historic storm. Hammered.
California, putting 40 million under a flood watch. There has been mudslides and swift water rescues as officials urge people to stay home. As Jacqueline Lee reports, the storm system continues to evolve.
Dramatic scenes throughout Southern California as it gets pummeled by an atmospheric river, dumping more than a month's worth of rain in 24 hours.
I never imagined it would be this bad.
First responders performing swift water rescues, mudslides slamming into homes and down trees, destroying cars. The typically dry LA River now raging.
Stay safe and off the roads. Only leave your house if it is absolutely necessary.
And a mudslide destroying 2 homes in Studio City, leading to the evacuation of 16 people.
Just to clarify, 11,958 and 11,960, those are the homes with the most damage.
That's correct. At this time, those are the only that did incur damage from the debris flow.
ABC's Ginger Z is in Studio City.
Here in Studio City, that is the hillside that collapsed in heavy rain. The debris flow, the rocks coming down into this home, blasting through their garage and pushing that car. Look at the debris that lined up here, smashing into the SUV and flowing down the street.
Another massive mudslide in Beverly Hills this afternoon. Tons of mud swamping homes, cars, anything in its path. California Governor Gavin Newsom declaring a state of emergency in 8 counties, including San Diego, Los Angeles, and Ventura. Winds up to 80 miles per hour in the San Francisco Bay Area, knocking out power to more than 900,000 customers. A dramatic rescue near Santa Rosa after this colossal tree fell onto a car and trapped the driver. later rushed to the hospital with severe injuries. And in San Mateo County, a 100-year-old eucalyptus tree toppling in this fierce weather, blocking the entrance to a preschool. And despite this rough weather, the LA Unified School District, which is the second largest in the country, will remain open. The stormy weather will continue through Tuesday. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Santa Barbara.
The Weather Service is forecasting up to 8 inches of rainfall across Southern California's coastal and
It's still happening. Damage widespread as storm hammers SoCal.
Oh, Casey, it is raining, and just take a look at this mess. All of this mud, all of this debris, the result of a mudslide, a debris flow from the hills that destroyed one home. Take a look. This home that you see right here can't really even make it out as a home. We're told that was on that hill, knocked off of its foundation, collapsed, looks totally destroyed, also appears to have damaged some other properties. And take a look at this car. You can see the car also very badly damaged by some kind of carport that came down there. All of this debris strewn out along the road. We are on Caribou Lane. This is right off of Beverly Glen. One bit of good news, we understand no one was home at that destroyed house at the time. It was unoccupied. We're told it was just either had just been purchased or sold. Joining me now are a couple of neighbors, Davis and Ryan. So you guys are safe. Your homes were not damaged. Tell us what you heard and what you saw.
Yeah, so it was 2 a.m. when it happened, and I was with my family in the living room because we didn't trust the backside of our house to have another landslide as well. So we were sleeping in the living room, and then in the middle of the night, you just feel this rumbling noise, and then you can feel the vibrations of the house. It was super loud, and it was shaking the entire house. It was terrifying. And then we look outside, and there's a piano in the street, and we saw this because it was kind of dark. We couldn't really tell what had happened at first.
What's your reaction seeing all of this? Your home, I understand, is down a little further the street. You said some people are sheltering in place there. What's been your experience with all this?
I mean, really just shock. Like, this is not something that you ever expect to happen. And so to see our neighbor's house, like it feels so close, and to see something this crazy happen to it it's a shock, and it's a little scary, honestly.
Yeah,
Well, of course it is. Check out weather terrorism, weather warfare. Whole lot of people are very, very affected by this. Once again, I don't think my internet provider likes me at all.
There's a mini mountain of mud in her backyard. It broke through her pergola. Again, we have downed trees, all of it pressing against her home, crushing the house. It's already broken through sliding glass doors of her bedroom. She was asleep when it started to happen, and here she is, Miss Dion Perrineau. You've been here for 25 years at this home in Baldwin Vista. Nothing like this has happened before. How are you holding up? What's your mindset right now?
Just glad we're safe. I haven't really processed it. Just listening to you describe it, it's like, it's a lot, and it's scary because I want the house to be okay. But I mean, it's stuff. It's not lost lives.
Yeah, you have.
But you know what? Stuff matters also. When you live through everything gone, it begins to hurt. Latest on SoCal flooding. State of emergency declared, thousands without power.
Yard here is just getting wrecked. California right now battling severe weather, close to 40 million under watches, warnings, or evacuation orders.
This has the potential to be a historic storm.
With heavy snow to the north, hurricane-force winds and flooding rains across the rest of the state.
Don't go that way. It's completely flooded.
Several areas underwater, some seeing more than a month's worth of rain over the last 24 hours, with high and swift water rescue teams rushing in to help those trapped by the storm.
We launched our boats, got them out of the water, and successfully got them to shore.
500,000 or more are without power, many a result of power lines pulled from the ground by winds gusting over 70 miles an hour.
Trees on cars, trees on homes, mudslides taking out homes. One home ripped off its foundation. Power outages and gas leaks. Where's my gas leak video? But look at this. Alright, you gotta catch it. It's only a few seconds. Look at the car that the wind is just toppling over.
First responders have their hands full as an intense and slow-moving storm wreaks havoc across Southern California.
Well, you know.
A heart-stopping scene as an SUV hydroplanes flips and crashes on Interstate 5 near 7th Street in Los Angeles. Stopping scene as an SUV hydroplanes flips and crashes on Interstate 5 near 7th Street in Los
Hydroplaned. It hydroplaned.
We're told Topanga Canyon received an incredible 9 inches of rain so far. The area is at high risk of more mud and debris flows throughout the evening.
That is simply a staggering total in just about 12 hours. Also breaking right now, evacuations underway in the Fryman Canyon area of Studio City. A mudslide there has damaged 2 homes and threatens several others. You can see debris and mud covering the roadway. Homeowners now being evacuated.
Eyewitness News reporter Sophie Flay has just arrived on.
It's a mess. Historic storm sends debris through LA's Hollywood Hills and leaves 1.1 million without power. Trees, power outages, wind gusts, rain, and more. This is only going to get worse and worse. That is my sense. In a FEMA document, the events, the weather events coming, 350 mile per hour winds. Oh, I wonder if that's why the 2 scientists said we need another category. You need a category 10 on that.
The whole barrio flooded, bro. Poor car. Everyone's out safe though, it looks like. Got our neighbors up on the roof. This shit fucking crazy.
So, utility companies are involved in weather modification. And all of them. Counties around the country involved in weather modification. Commercial companies provide weather modification. What are we doing? Why do people insist on not doing just a little bit of research to find out what we have been saying is actually right on? How about it? You're letting your government destroy you? You're allowing it. Large debris flow causes gas leaks, evacuations in Hollywood Hills.
They're actually having to put people in fire department apparatus to remove them from the scene. And they're describing this as a pretty large debris flow, so big that they actually have to bring in bulldozers to be able to move that mud. And here's the other big concern. This mudslide and the damage that it has caused has also caused gas leaks in the area. So now we're in a situation where you've got gas leaking, you've got houses that are damaged, and you've got the fire department actively trying to evacuate people. I want to come to my computer here because I'm going to give you a better lay of the land. This is where it's happening.
If you're in California and you want the lay of the land, you can click on the link and check it out. Yeah, well, I-Team city work crews caught not working, so Yeah, you're paying taxes. And people just aren't doing anything anymore. Cleveland, Ohio.
An I-Team hidden camera watching. A Cleveland work crew hits the streets to start the day. Late, leaving headquarters going to a job site 34 minutes late. Late start and early finish. We kept an eye on that job site. Caught one truck heading back in 2 hours early. The I-Team spent parts of 5 days following city tree trimming crews. What stood out, workers paid with your tax dollars, cutting corners.
Excuse me, sir. Yeah. You're in the work zone. Could you kind of like move
Work
out
zone? You guys haven't been doing anything.
Could you move out the way, sir?
This guy didn't want to face the I-Team questions. He took a break from working on the southeast side at 10:15. At 10:30, we saw him wandering through the Heinen Shopping Center complex at Lee and Chagrin in Shaker Heights. No tree trimming to be done there. At 11, an I-Team camera saw him going back to his truck. And next, we saw him joining other crews gathered at the Lee Harvard Shopping Center, stopping there 11 to 12, apparently for lunch. Finally, we found that worker and a partner setting up to start work again at 12:20. Nearly 2 hours had passed. How can you look into that camera and tell taxpayers that you're putting in a hard day's work? Cleveland City Hall recently raised your taxes, promising better city services. The city even hired more tree trimmers. In fact, the I-Team has revealed before, the city has a backlog of thousands of dead and dangerous trees to be cut down. And the city is on a 23-year cycle for getting around to neighborhoods to trim trees. Yet the crew's killing time so blatant, even taxpayers see it. From his home on Judson, George Anderson noticed this crew.
They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and I agree with you there. I noticed it myself at times, especially when they were down the street further, that they weren't doing that much.
But that supervision starts with you.
Yeah, the buck stops with this guy. The buck stops with this guy. He's going to look into it.
This is where the buck stops. That's why you're talking to me.
Meet the Director of Public Works, the man in
Public Works? Not so much. Why are we paying taxes when we get no service? Bay Area pizza restaurant employees fight back after 4 robberies in the last month. Cities are literally just, wow, they're not in good shape.
An Oakland restaurant is considering shutting down after being broken into and robbed 4 times this year alone. Employees have even resorted to fending off attackers themselves. The city is now offering up some changes in a story you'll see only on 7.
He grabbed the hammer. So he was like, we had to defend.
Employees at Cybel's Pizza along Fruitvale Avenue in Oakland's Diamond District have resorted to defending themselves after the most recent robbery Friday.
They went into my shop yesterday around 10:30 p.m. They tried to steal the register. Another of my 2 employees, he grabbed the hammer and he threw it to his foot so they can't leave. He came into the shop again and they were like trying to catch them. They were very, very brave.
Owner Elizabeth Sanchez says this is just one of 4 break-in robberies at their Oakland location this year.
Every other week or like weekly. Would you like to have some refill?
Elizabeth says the crime in the area is so bad, it's hard to retain workers.
It is just 7 days a week working on it, from the morning to closing.
And she's considering closing the location.
Sales are dropping down because nobody wants to come out. Nobody. They're scared for their safety. 20% of the sales were worse than the pandemic.
A representative from the mayor's office tells me they've been working with Elizabeth and other small business owners in the area on strengthening security.
Chantal, and then the chief Mendoza, she said that they're working on it. They're working so they can have a budget for the Diamond District and the Laurel District, so they can have security, more security for the 7 days a week.
Elizabeth,
they're working on it. You just hold your horses. They're working on it. Defund the police. City has $46.3 million in extra revenue This is Houston, Texas. So why the water rate increase?
The water rates increase automatically every April 1st, and that will happen through 2026. But already, Houston Public Works is sitting on more than $46 million in unexpected revenue this fiscal year.
I used to pay $35, $40 a month, and now $570 to $1,000.
Not $2,000, you know. I don't have $2,000 to pay. I could see maybe a 400, 300, but 24,000. I said that's like a car.
While Houston water customers struggle to pay or dispute outrageous bills, the City of Houston's Public Works Department is feeling pretty flush.
Total operating revenues increased by $46.3 million, primarily due to higher than anticipated water and sewer revenue.
Yeah, halfway into the fiscal year, new City of Houston Controller Chris Hollins reported to City Council that the city collected $46.3 million more in water and sewer revenue than it expected to, and it spent $41.1 million less than projected.
So obviously we're taking in a lot more money in the water sewer system, and we're spending less.
I'm not the only one who nearly choked on my Cheerios at this news. Councilmember Sally Alcorn pressed the finance director for answers.
I mean, we seem to be coming in ahead, every time on, which concerns me because people's water bills are high, and are we, is that the reason? Or we have higher than expected water bills? Or
I don't want to get ahead of the mayor on that. I know he might.
Okay, not getting ahead of the mayor, just pointing it out.
When City Council voted on the 5-year automatic water rate increase in 2021, Public Works said they needed the extra revenue to maintain and repair water infrastructure and equipment. But why is the water department making so much more than it expected? Controller Chris Hollins weighed in.
The reason that we're seeing for increased revenues in fiscal year 2024 so far is largely driven by customers using more water during the drought for critical service.
Oh, they're using more water because of the drought. Are you kidding me? Okay, Americans are getting ripped off left and right, forward, backwards, all over the place. Wow. Used to pay $30, $40, but now $500 to $1,000? You're kidding me. We have criminal governments. They are criminals. Criminals steal. And they're stealing an awful lot. So Americans, we need to unite. Can we? And here, the president of El Salvador.
I tweeted one time that the USA is too powerful to be destroyed from the outside. Actually, geographically, nobody can invade the U.S., the United States. Nobody. I mean, even if huge armies will collude and want to attack the U.S., it's impossible. I mean, you have to cross all the ocean, all the Pacific Ocean and all the Atlantic Ocean just to get to the shore. I mean, it's impossible, right? And the U.S. has military bases, so it's impossible. So the only way the U.S. can fail, and this is not my...
It's not his analysis. It's an analysis of some military person.
This is not my my analysis. This was made by presidents before, by U.S. presidents before. The demand.
Military commander-in-chiefs have made that analysis, but when the country gets so weakened and you have treason going on and you have presidents who sell the country out to other very powerful countries, China, well, we could be attacked from the outside at this point.
The rise of the U.S. has to come from within, right? The enemies have to be inside. not really outside. No external enemy can cause so much damage as internal. It's an internal operation. You're watching internal operations here. You can see them in cities that were pristinely beautiful 30 years ago are wastelands right now. You would see people, I mean, I'm from El Salvador, a third world country in Central America, and myself, I can see cities here and say, I want to live here. So that would be unthinkable 3 decades ago. Totally unthinkable. That a Salvadoran wouldn't want to live in a U.S. city, in a U.S. main city. I mean, Los Angeles, San
New York,
Francisco,
Chicago, yeah.
Well, Philadelphia, Baltimore.
Wasteland. That's what we now have. Ooh, extremely frustrating. Portland leaders say state laws hinder efforts to clean up the city.
3 businesses were hit.
A string of early morning burglaries in northeast Portland.
City in decline.
Robbed and carjacked at gunpoint. This is not the city we once knew. Crime is skyrocketing, and the homeless crisis has reached a breaking point.
Sprawled on the side.
How and why is this happening in our city?
Portland.
It is extremely frustrating for us to take the steps that we believe and frankly that we know we need to take as a municipal government to address open drug use or to address addiction or to address unsanctioned, dangerous, and squalid camps in our community. We're responsible to the public for the right-of-way. We're responsible to the public for public safety, and yet we don't have all of the tools we need at the municipal level to be able to get done what we need to have done. And so the courts often intercede, as they did on our time, place, and manner restrictions around camping. And of course, the legislature preempts us from being able to enforce drug use laws here in the city of Portland. I've been very clear about what my goals are. I do not want anyone using or dealing drugs on our streets. I do not.
All right. Anyone who sees this as some kind of complicated problem, organic problem, it just kind of sprung up from nowhere, and does not see the intentionality behind the destruction of these cities. Portland, everybody wanted to move to Portland 20 years ago. Seattle, going to Seattle, California. Now it's a wasteland. So, why don't we get to, we're going to do the border war before just outright warfare internationally. The U.S. Senate has released a draft of a $118 billion bipartisan bill allocating $60 billion for Ukraine, $14 billion Israel, $20 billion border security, no provision for the residents of East Palestine, nothing allocated for Lahaina, Maui, and the $20 billion for border security. Well, this Senate bill apparently dead on arrival in the House. So, scandalous Senate deal allows 1.5 million illegals per year. Slides up to 2.3 billion. Listen to this, 2.3 billion to NGOs trafficking them, and give 60 billion to Ukraine. The Senate has come up with that bipartisan agreement, which allows 1.5 million, which comes out to about 5,000 a day coming across the border. Brilliant bill, isn't it? And allocates 2.3 billion to NGOs and other organizations which traffic the illegal migrants. Wow. Good job, Senate. It's pretty amazing. We're at the point where allowing 5,000 illegals per day into this country is going to become law. I want to show you this. Can I? Yeah. All right. Fiscal year 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. All right. This total enforcement actions for 2017 was just over 500,000 that crossed the border. 2018, more, 683,178. Fiscal year 19, more, 1,148,024. 2020, 646,822. Fiscal year 21, and fiscal year goes from October 1 to September 30. All right, so 2021, 1,956,519. Fiscal year 22, 2,766,582. And 23, 3,201,144. And for fiscal year 24, okay, so 3 months and a week, nearly 1,988,819 in 3 months and a week. Mexican citizen who illegally entered our country in 2004 was convicted of raping a child, deported in 2006. He was just taken into ICE custody in Massachusetts after re-entering our country illegally. Okay. And this apparently is Randall's Island Migrant Shelter. I was told this happened yesterday. Viral News, New York City. Yeah, seems like it's very calm in there, huh? And Anthony Aguero, a big shout out to you for staying with this and going all over the border states. But here he is in Tacoma, California. Look at all the people. I'm telling you, day in, day out, they're coming across. Doesn't matter what happened in Texas.
Hey guys, it's your friend Anthony Aguero with another brief update out of Tacoma, California. We're now witnessing more males from China out here, people from Turkey, people from Colombia, and people from Ecuador out here. Commotion. energy is running high. People are upset that they're out here waiting. It's really, really cold, and Border Patrol is doing their best to try to keep these people, get them to safety, and trying to keep the crowds calm. Be sure to tune in to YouTube, Anthony Agüero Live, and Anthony Agüero Live on Rumble, Border Wars on Rumble. We are streaming live. We will be out here the rest of the night, bringing you guys more content, more information from the developing story out here in Chacumba, California.
That's a pretty big crowd. I'm going to put the link in. And Anthony is on it. In fact, he's on it again. Can anyone tell me what's happening here? Chacumba, California.
Hey.
Wow, all of these people just escaped from China. That is pretty amazing. All right, I'm going to put the link in. Nick Shirley and his mother. I can't believe that this guy only has 48,000 subscribers. Go over, support him. He's been going around. He's been in New York. He's been in Colorado. He's gone down to the border. And here, this video, 14 minutes, illegal immigrants are living for free in the city. And he interviews a lot of the illegal migrants. And guess what? They love Biden.
Porque todo es casi gratis aquí, ¿cierto? Gracias a Joe Biden.
Gracias al presidente. Gracias al presidente, así es. Un buen presidente, tiene buen corazón.
With millions of migrants coming to America, many migrants are being moved to the city of Denver, Colorado. The surprise influx of migrants has put the city into a crisis, having racked up over $10 million in unpaid medical bills, and the city is projected to spend over $160 million to support migrants in the coming year. Migrants are receiving more benefits than American homeless citizens.
So I'm left out here to just fend for myself.
¿Cuánto tiempo lleva ahí, neta?
2 meses.
And all of these migrants love this one guy.
Biden. Él es el que nos está ayudando por Biden.
We are here in Denver, Colorado, and right behind me are hotels that are being used to house illegal immigrants, and we have talked to a few, and they're getting months worth of free rent here. Booker T, what's going on here?
In Denver, Colorado, we've learned that the population is 700,000. 40,000 migrants are living right here in Denver.
¿Cuánto tiempo llevan aquí?
Nosotros llegamos, yo por lo menos llegué el 18 de diciembre.
¿Han podido quedarse aquí en este hotel aquí?
Aquí en el Confo.
¿Y por cuánto tiempo pueden quedarse?
Hasta el 13 de marzo nos están dando.
3 meses, básicamente. ¿Y le dan desayuno?
Nos dan solamente el desayuno y la cena, no nos dan almuerzo ni nada. Y los niños por lo menos no les gusta la comida. A mi hijo no le gusta la comida.
Yeah, I mean, just look at this place. It's literally...
You know, a lot of these migrants are not used to the toxic foods that they're now eating in America. And our food sucks. Get outside of the country, you can still have decent food. Come into the United States, the food sucks. For most people.
Just like everyone just hanging out. They got cars. ¿Y este es su auto aquí?
Sí, ese es mi auto.
¿Y cómo podrían conseguir un auto?
¿Cómo podríamos conseguir? Pues la verdad, con mucho esfuerzo hemos reunido para poder comprarnos el auto.
¿Y con papeles?
No, porque nosotros acá, el emigrante, pues somos como que un poco complicados con los papeles y esas cosas.
Pero pueden manejar sin papeles, sin licencia.
Sí, pues siempre y cuando con precaución, porque es que si no se maneja bien, pues tenemos problemas con la autoridad.
No license, no problem. They
They got a nice car too. They got a nice little Toyota. ¿Y ustedes están viviendo aquí en el Comfort Suite?
No, en el Sleep.
En el Sleep. ¿Y por cuánto tiempo van a estar ahí?
Yo llevo ya 2 meses y me dieron una prórroga de 2 meses más.
¿Qué significan las etiquetas?
Las etiquetas, el brazalete para entrar, como si fuera un parque de diversión.
Como si
Como
fuera
la
un parque
entrada.
de- ¿Qué han hecho para poder conseguir trabajo?
Eso es difícil, pero usted sabe que Dios nunca abandona a las personas buenas. Aquí llegan personas buscando muchachos para ayudarlos y eso, a trabajar sin ningún permiso, papel ni nada.
Bueno, parece que están yendo muy bien porque tienen muy buena ropa, zapatos. Son buenos.
Pero eso es porque ustedes mismos, los mismos estadounidenses, son buenas personas, nos han ayudado, nos han donado ropa, camisas, zapatos, nos traen comida, casi todos los días nos traen ropa.
Cada día le traen ropa por aquí.
Sí, los mismos estadounidenses, ustedes mismos pues.
Desde Venezuela hasta los Estados Unidos. ¿Cuánto tuviste que pagar al cartel?
Como sus $3,000.
$3,000.
Que para nosotros en Venezuela es... con eso tú te sientes millonario.
¿Cuánto es el sueldo mínimo ahí en Venezuela?
$40 mensual, imagínate, mensual. $40 mensual. Cuando aquí tú te ganas mensual, 15 y último te ganas 1,600, 1,500. Sí, es loco. Por eso es que hay mucha gente, ya Venezuela está sola.
7.7 million Venezuelans have left their country over the years due to an economical collapse. Hyperinflation hit hard, meaning one day you have $10 and the next week that $10 is worth $1, making basic necessities unaffordable. And buying a carton of milk could cost you your whole week's salary.
Obviamente esto tiene que durar un mes.
That's why so many people are leaving the country of Venezuela.
¿Se sienten que gracias a Joe Biden, el presidente, se sintieron
apoyados? Sí, claro.
¿Se sintieron apoyados
Sí,
porque
claro,
Joe Biden?
Sí. Le gusta apoyar a los migrantes. Sí, es muy buena persona. No, Trump es otra cosa, ese es otra cosa y este es otra cosa.
Porque todo es casi gratis aquí, ¿cierto? Gracias a Joe Biden.
Gracias al presidente. Gracias al presidente, así es. Un buen presidente, tiene buen corazón.
He's gonna go in there and he's gonna go film with his
Biden's a good person. Biden's a good person. What are we doing? What are we doing to all of the Americans who are just sitting on your friggin' butt doing nothing? You're paying for all of this. 40,000 migrants in Denver. They're living for free. They're getting clothes from other Americans. They have the toxic food that all of us eat. Oh. Okay, here. 60 Minutes. I can't play this because I'll probably get a copyright strike. But this man is talking about the migrants pouring into this area, and I believe this is the Jacumba area of California. A lot of Chinese coming through, but also migrants from all over the world. And he is talking about how this is a problem. Oh, you think? We're paying for their bus fares, their train fares, their plane fares, everything. And Americans don't have the money. JLR investigates. I will put the link in to JLR's video, and I do recommend that you subscribe to these people because they're on it. They are on it. And here, migrant smugglers caught, Eagle Pass, Texas. And he's I don't have the patience. So you can watch the video on your own, but he is wondering, because he's in a very, very, very remote area, very, very remote. This is Mexico across the river, very, very rural area, but he captures these people who are canoeing and coming off the banks, and he wonders if they're the spotters, the cartel spotters. looking for Border Patrol or whatever. Hundreds of immigrants. Middle Tennessee. Hey, isn't it just happening in New York? Chicago? No, it's happening all over.
New tonight, hundreds of people going through the legal immigration process could end up right here in the mid-state.
That's right. This, as polls here and around the country show, immigration is now the top issue for Americans leading up to the presidential election. Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker now live downtown with more on exactly how all this will work.
The city of Franklin received this letter from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. In short, it says that hundreds of people going through the immigration process could end up in Middle Tennessee cities. Last fall, DHS sent this official notice saying nearly 600, quote, non-citizens were looking to travel to these areas highlighted on your screen. Most of them coming from Guatemala, Venezuela, Honduras, and Mexico.
It's very troubling that, someone can come to this country, name Nashville or Greater Nashville as the destination, and we're not finding out about it for months later.
U.S. Congressman Andy Ogles telling Fox 17 News that he had a conference call with DHS yesterday with a series of questions, including a request for updated numbers, how people will be tracked, and if they have prior convictions.
They didn't have any good answers.
The notice says DHS may release non-citizens from custody who have been fully screened and vetted pending the outcome of their immigration process.
They're not fully vetted. They're not fully screened. In fact, when Biden came into office, soon after, I posted videos on it, soon after, the vetting process, well, that would take too much time. They're not being vetted. Not even those who are sponsoring the unaccompanied children. Nope, no vetting. And here, anti-American protesters have showed up in Eagle Pass, of course. Our river, our land, our decision. It's my land. And all of those who are against the open border, I guess we don't have a say. Yeah, we still have these Americans, but remember, wow, when the border issue became a bigger issue for more people to be posting on it, and we had so many people calling us racists and xenophobic, colonialists. I mean, it was insane. There were a whole lot. We don't see a whole lot anymore. But these Americans come out and they're anti-American. Large group of people cross into the United States illegally early this morning, just north of Eagle Pass, Texas.
You speak English? You speak English?
Yeah, a little. You have water for the boy?
I don't. No.
Okay,
Where'd you come from?
Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic. How many people in your group?
42.
42?
Yeah, 42.
Did you come across on boat? Or
boat?
Boat.
Yeah,
boat. Where are you going? No, what city?
City, I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't know.
No. How did you get to Mexico? Did you have to pay?
4,000.
4,000?
Yeah, $4,000.
Each person 4,000?
Yeah, no, the boy 3,500 pesos.
Do they have parents?
$500.
How much?
$3,500.
$3,500. Do they have parents? Are they their parents with them?
No.
No parents?
No parents.
Oh my God. kids in the back, no parents. And continue to go down.
Children without parents. How does that happen? That happens when you have a lot of parents who don't give a shit about their children. Breaking news, Mexico has set up their Guardia Nacional, National Guard, at the Jacumba, California. What? How did that happen? I guess Biden called Mexico. Let me take out my loudspeaker and call Mexico. Set up the National Guard.
This is what's going on the other side of Jacumba, California, guys. Look at this. Right through here. This is incredible. There's all the documentation.
That was a mighty big water tank. Gee, I wonder what's happening. Are we going to be having a whole mass of people coming through that part of Jacumba, California, as we have seen a whole lot of Chinese coming through? Will the National Guard be helping process these people? I don't think they're going to be stopping them. Cartel, I've shown videos of exactly that spot where the cartel comes with their trucks and their SUVs, unloads a lot of the illegal migrants who come right around the border. But, and I've said this before, Arizona get an awful lot of the African migrants. California get an awful lot of Chinese. Texas gets an awful lot from Latin and Central and South America. You saw that guy GLR was talking to. He doesn't know where he's going. He gets processed, and then he'll get his destination once he arrives and gets processed by Border Patrol. That's when he will get his destination. And I've posted videos of people saying that, you know, all of the sleeper cells, you've got the Chinese, you got the Middle Easterners, you got the Latin and South and Central Americans. They're kind of shipping them all to the same places where they can all speak the language they understand. And here, just since the police were attacked by migrants, now it's a big deal.
We appreciate you coming out to cover what is an incredibly important issue, and it's about public safety in our city. Obviously, last week's attack on our NYPD officers by illegal immigrants was very troubling for the entire community. I mean, here's a situation where the taxpayers are being forced to pay to house, feed, provide education, healthcare, legal services, laundry services for individuals because of the mayor's interpretation of right to shelter. And then to add insult to injury, we see many of these individuals committing crime in our city. Now, last week's attack was only one of about 1,000 different incidents that we've seen in the city, but it got a lot of scrutiny and media attention because it was an attack on police officers. And this is completely unacceptable, but sadly, it's not the first one that we've seen. There were a couple of other police officers who have been attacked by migrants in our city, including a woman who slapped a police officer in the face, and then following a DUI bust, an individual who bit the finger of a sergeant. 1,000 arrests of migrants in our city for crimes ranging from assault to grand larceny to robbery to stabbings and even a murder at the Roosevelt shelter. And what's troubling the most, perhaps, is that NYPD's hands are tied and they are prohibited by City Council's laws from 2014 from cooperating with Immigration and Customs Enforcement to have these individuals detained and deported. So, the other day you read another incident about a woman who's been arrested 8 times for pickpocketing in our city. And that individual has been repeatedly released back onto the street because of the ridiculous bail laws of our state. And then she goes back to the luxury hotel room that the taxpayers of the city are paying for to add insult to injury. This past fiscal year, ICE issued 109 detainer requests for individuals who are dangerous, that committed crimes in our city. And zero have been honored by the city of New York.
So this is deliberate. Hello, New Yorkers. Hello, Americans. The only people who can get this stopped are you, me, and the rest of us. We the people, we kind of fell down on the job. Sleeping.
Do we know where these migrants are?
Well, basically, rumor has it, because they're free, they're out.
So she's talking about the migrants who assaulted the police officers.
No charges, no nothing, they're out. Try to find them, rumor has it, California. That's what they say. How did they get from New York to California? They are free to roam as they please. This is
How mad is the city council or not?
How mad is the city council? I don't think
They
the
don't
city
care?
council has moved at all. Because had it not been covered in the news, and I'm sitting here before you today, they could care less.
So what we're learning, New York Post is report. We thought on Friday that a faith-based.
I like Vicky Palladino. And if I were still living where I grew up in Bayside, she would be my representative. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem banished from tribal land over proposed border security maneuver. A whole lot of Native Americans bought and sold. Getting money to push the agendas of our fabulous federal government. How dare you propose sending razor wire to Texas? That's it. You can't step on our land anymore. Wow. I tracked down illegal immigrants in New York City. This is Nick Shirley again, and I'm going to put the link in. Yep, New York, Denver, all over. Mom and son doing the work that our mainstream media investigative journalists should be doing.
Buses. These buses take them to the airport to see what they bring, because at the Roosevelt Hotel, they brought in a whole family that we witnessed.
So they found a...
Sorry. I should have.
America. And New York City is one of the biggest places that these are all being.
Come on. CenturyLink, if I just bow down to you, worship you, will you please let my...
being sent to.
Thank you.
What does that mean, a sanctuary city?
Sanctuary city means that the governor and the mayors, they've chosen their city to be a sanctuary city, which is a state where anybody can come. Anybody can come to get help. And not all states in America are like that. So basically, the ones that have are where all these immigrants are going, and now all these mayors and all the people are so upset. They are upset because thousands of people have came and there's no funding. So the taxpayers of those cities are paying for all these migrants to live here and to be taken care of, and it's becoming a huge burden on these cities.
As we were walking to the Port of Authority, we passed multiple migrant families that were walking the streets with all their belongings in plastic bags. We're here, we're coming to the Port Authority. We're gonna go try to figure out, find where all these people are coming in from. From what I believe is they bring them in on these vans and then they're dropping them off. Like this bus could be full of them right here. Oh my gosh. How's it going? Good, good. How are you? Do you know, is this where they drop everybody off once they come here from the border? Is this where they're all coming in from?
Where some of the buses might be. All right, so they've stopped the buses, so the buses go into New Jersey, and then they take a train into New York. It's quite amazing, really. And he interviews some of the illegal migrants, tries to interview the NGO workers, but they won't talk. They won't talk. Americans coast to coast feel impact of crisis at southern border.
Just in your life over the last 3 years?
Yes, definitely in my life, because as you said, I am a teacher, and a lot of people were contacting me because a school in my neighborhood in Coney Island, literally there were asylum seekers sleeping in the school. So parents couldn't send their scholars to school, which is depriving students from their education, which is a very big problem.
Yeah, I mean, that backs up what I think all of us who spend time in New York have experienced personally. Let's move on. You know, the Brownsville, Texas always seems to, or Texas, Deborah, always seems to get something first. We actually don't hear about Brownsville as much. We hear about Eagle Pass, we hear about Del Rio, we hear about other sectors. You're right there at the tip. Take a look at the numbers of migrant encounters at the southern border, up from 300,000 in 2017 to 2.4 million in 2023. 300,000 to 2.4 million. What does that mean for your community in Brownsville?
Well, I can tell you, Will, looking back at what happened to us during the months of May and June, we had crossings like we had never seen before. Personal experience, having been over in that area myself numerous times. Yep, right there. I've been right there with the video they're showing. That area in one, I don't even know. It was such a short distance. We took out 10 tons of trash. 10 tons of trash, less than a quarter mile that we cleaned up. So what happens is they cross over and they just drop everything as soon as they get to our side. And I'm talking anything and everything. Yep, there's our picture. It's
I
horrible.
see the trash.
It took 2 days just to clean that little area up. When you talk in terms of our city, just the other day I was dropping my son off at school, and there was just 5 illegal immigrants walking the fence line of my son's school with their bags of clothes. Just less than a couple days ago, driving in an area which is a neighborhood, they were walking down the streets.
Yeah.
I've had people call me and tell me they're panhandling outside of their businesses. Maybe not so much at this current moment as when we first saw that large influx back in May, June, but
I've seen that in Texas.
they're everywhere.
Deborah, I've seen that. And the truth is, I've seen, what Ashanti is describing as well. I mean, I've seen the kids who should be in school who are now on subway platforms. I mean, they should be in school in their home countries, but they're in this country on subway platforms begging, which isn't a good situation for the community or for the kid. But Sam, the one community that I haven't been to is yours. I hear about it. I hear your mayor. I hear people finally starting to wake up in Chicago, it seems like, which has styled itself as a welcome place for illegal immigrants, all of a sudden saying, oh, maybe this isn't such a good thing for Chicago.
Chicago is definitely depleting the resources that is long needed for these communities. $40 million a month being spent on migrants. That money is needed for educational programs, family training orientations. I mean, just last week we saw 2 executions where 4 teenagers were murdered because we don't have the resources. But yet we have the resources for undocumented or new migrants that are coming into the city. Definitely this has to stop. The federal government is not helping at all. I mean, the city is in crisis. We're worried about the summer coming up. Most of these migrants are unidentified. We don't know who they are. We've seen in New York, they commit crimes. They're willing to attack police. They shoot. Now they travel to California, supposedly. They could do there. So we're delivering the wrong message. They could commit crimes in the United States and not be held accountable.
And you are
delivering the wrong message? Yeah. Why is Alexander Mayorkas reportedly funding Chinese migrant camps in the Darien Gap? Gee, that sounds like treason to me. Reportedly traveled to the Darien Gap. He did. Michael Yan, was down there when this guy went down, funded a Chinese migrant camp. Wow. That's unusual, isn't it? And these sheriffs are talking about all of the crime. I'll put the link in the chat. You can listen to it yourself. But they're talking about the cartel all over the country. They're talking about the crimes being committed. Hello, Americans. Didn't mean to wake you up. And now we go on to international warfare. Yeah, that's what we're known for.
Australia.
Look at all of these homes, but the trees are still intact. Wow. But the homes in Chile, they were, well, dustified. Huh. Yeah. And the animals. The animals.
Australian Government is appalled at this outcome. We will be communicating our response in the strongest terms. As a first step, I have directed my secretary to summon China's ambassador to Australia to express our objection.
So this is the Mission Creek Bridge at De La Vina and Haven.
Oh boy. Well, yeah, Trump. Anti-establishment? Establishment.
The nation. What is his real plan for Ukraine? And it wasn't quite satisfying for a lot of people. According to Michael Tracy, he says he'll get the European countries to match what the U.S. is sending to Ukraine. That's not a call for cutting off arms to Ukraine. It's a call for increasing arms. He also once again brags that he increased funding to NATO. All right, so let's listen for ourselves and see what he had to say.
And you know, Ukraine's an interesting case. People always want to know my feeling. Number one, we're in for 200 billion plus, and the European nations are in for 20 billion. And it's more important for them. And don't you think they should equalize? Nobody asks them. It's like I did with NATO. I said, we're paying for NATO, and we don't get so much out of it. And you know, I hate to tell you this about NATO. If we ever needed their help, let's say we were attacked, I don't believe they'd be there. I don't believe. I know the people. I know them. I can tell you country by country who would be there and who, but I don't believe they'd be there. But I took care of NATO. I said, you got to pay your bills. If you don't pay your bills, we're not going to be there to support you. And the following day, the money came rolling into NATO.
It did?
But the European nations, if you add them up, the economy is about the same size as the U.S., believe it or not. A lot of people are surprised. You add them all up, and they are in for about $20 billion, and we're in for $200 billion because we're stupid. All we have to do is say pay. Nobody ever says to them pay. You don't even hear that. I say pay. And they'll pay too. You have to equalize.
Okay.
Is he going to spend the money on healthcare?
All right. So now, you know, some folks like the Post Millennial tweeted out that it was in the context of, what was he talking about, Keaton? The border wall?
Yeah, he was talking about the border deal that Biden's trying to broker so that he can get funds for Ukraine. And some people tried to spin that as, well, this clip here was taken out of context. No, it wasn't. It's very obvious what he said there. You know, our complaint, we're not looking for World War III at a prorated,
yeah,
you know,
the issue isn't we're paying too much for World War.
Yeah, the issue is not that we're paying too much, right? The issue is that we're on the road to World War.
Yeah. So Jimmy, friend of show Jimmy Dore weighed in on this.
Yes, friend of the show Jimmy Dore.
I follow that guy. I remember Trump saying he would end the Ukraine war in 24 hours. WTF happened to that guy? He knows what's actually happening in Ukraine, and yet he's saying warmongering shit like this. America needs a revolution. So as usual, I agree with Jimmy's take. This is why me and Keaton and our friends at RBN who also weighed in on this. We describe ourselves as post-duopoly. We're not playing this shit anymore. Donald Trump is not the savior. He's not a hero. He's not going to come rescue you. There is nobody to rescue you but you. We are going to have to save ourselves with our own actions and our own mutual aid.
Well, luckily, when the...
What did I hear? We're going to have to save ourselves? Trump is not your savior. Sorry to say that. But no. And he's such a warmongering killer. Just like Obama was. Just like Bush was. Trump, too. He outdid Obama's drone strikes. Soon after. I mean, it took him 6 months to outdo those drone strikes, killing people overseas. And now they're all coming those who survived. Now they're all coming through the border for the American dream. I'll put the link in. This goes on another 14 minutes with a lot of good information, but no. No, no, no. And, oh. This guy. We have such sick mother effers that are our quote-unquote leaders.
You've said that you worked very closely with Leader McConnell on this bill. Now that we see what's in it, seems to be as bipartisan as it gets. Why wouldn't both sides really want this to go through?
Well, it's a great question, Mika. Look, it took a long time, 4 months of arduous negotiations. They fell off the tracks a whole bunch of times. I had to be on the phone even at midnight saying we've got to keep going. Why? We're at a turning point in America. This bill is crucial, and history will look back on it and say, did America fail itself? Why is it crucial? Well, if we don't aid Ukraine...
Oh, that's the first thing. If you don't aid Ukraine, Russia will come into Ukraine. Well, what's important to Americans is the border. But he's more interested in Ukraine and Israel than he is Americans. How come Americans either don't hear that, can't see it, and even if they do, they're not, there's an indifference, there's an apathy that is so, heavy. It's a heavy indifference and apathy in this country. When everything gets so obvious, when we are being attacked from within, from people like Chuck Schumer, and people don't care. And you know how many millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of Americans who have gone off the cliff already, really struggling, a whole lot of victims from those coming across the border. That's when the indifference and apathy, it just gets, you can feel it. You can cut it with a knife. And unfortunately, it drains those who care. Seven U.S.-trained fighters killed in drone attack on occupied Syrian oil field. More getting killed. Ah, yes, the wars continue. A key and very evident theme out of the Red Sea is that the U.S. has lost deterrence. We're not deterring anyone. And perhaps never had it to begin with. No, we did. A whole lot were afraid of us. But they're not anymore. Despite over a dozen waves of large-scale Western coalition attacks on Houthi positions, the Yemeni Shia rebels are vowing more attacks on commercial shipping. Same with Iran-aligned groups in Syria and Iraq, even after the Pentagon on Friday hit 85 targets with 120 bombs. This marked the single biggest U.S. attack on Iranian proxies in the region since the Gaza war began, but it didn't take long for these very groups to strike back. The Islamic resistance in Iraq, as early as Saturday, announced it attacked bases that house U.S. soldiers in Erbil, but those attacks are disputed. Man. All right. We're heading in a direction that's not good. Okay. And of course, U.S. and Iranian attacks in the Middle East threaten major oil price rises. The ripple effect of the very sick, psychopathic, subhuman, violent animals. No, I don't want to say they're animals, because animals are good. No, they're just creatures. U.S. establishes new stockpile in Australia to prepare for war over Taiwan. Oh boy. War, stockpiles, ammunitions, weapons. It just goes on. This is what they care about. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They care about mass destruction. That's what they care about. And I'm going to link below to this. You can watch it on your own. This is Canadian Prepper. I know a lot of people, oh, he's just a fearmonger. No. He's actually taking a good look at what's happening internationally, and you should listen. It's important to know. Alert, NATO moves forces on Ukraine. Poland issues air alert warning. Russian mobilization begins. There is something up. Definitely something up. Did I put the link in? Yes. Okay. So let me just go through this window as quickly as I can here. Yeah. So we've got Disney partnering with Kleenex to go all in on the LGBTQ propaganda. Disney partnering with Kleenex. So now there'll be a boycott on Kleenex. Madhouse. Madhouse. It's a flippin' madhouse. Yeah. Okay. And here, I had posted, I don't know, I think it was last night, how an 8-year-old boy has, unbelievably, the courts have ruled that his father, this man that you're looking at right here, could not stop puberty blockers, 8 years old. Is it a madhouse? It's a violent madhouse that we are living in now. Well, it's been going on for a long time, and it's kind of heartbreaking when you know that it's been going on for a long time. And we had the numbers to stop it, but indifference, apathy, hey, come on. You know, I just want to have my dinner. I want to drink a beer. Oh, football's on. Oh. Baseball, football.
We discovered that at about age 2 to 3, he was going to a therapist by the name of Andrea Binner. And Andrea Binner is in Buffalo, and she's a self-proclaimed transgender therapist that specializes in adolescents, and she does gender-affirming therapy. Now, Andrea Binner never kept any notes at all on any therapy sessions that she had with my child. It came out that she not only did she not follow the WPATH standards for transgender care, but my son never, and still hasn't, had any formal diagnosis of gender dysphoria using the DSM-5 criteria. Now, what Binner did afterwards was at about 4 years old, she referred my son to a endocrinologist at the University of Rochester Pediatric Division by the name of Dr. Tran. I am not making that up. I know. It's,
wait, say that again.
If you don't laugh, you cry. So,
I'm sorry for laughing, but
no, it's totally.
The doctor who your then 4-year-old son was seeing for gender dysphoria and to get him started with gender affirming care. His or her, who is it? Is it a male or female?
Dr. Tran?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've often wondered that myself. I have no idea.
Some kind of they, them, it, these, them, something. The doctor's name is Dr. Tran, and Dr. Tran is going to trans your son.
Yes. Dr. Tran had 2 phone calls totaling 45 minutes with the mother only. They never spoke to my child. They never met my child. Yet over those 2 45-minute phone calls, they came to this conclusion that my son has gender dysphoria, and they recommended the potential for puberty blockers around the age 9.
And this is when your child is 4.
Yeah.
Okay, and you only found this out a few years later during discovery.
Right. It was all after the fact. I was the last to know.
They're taking away your rights, parents. They're taking away your rights. You want to talk crazy? Well, let's just stick with the transgender stuff. Maine kid smuggling transgender bill killed in committee. A bill that would have allowed people to take children from parents to get transgender procedures in Maine was killed in committee. Yay! Victory! Small battle, but victory. Why? Because there was a backlash. The Mainers actually did something. Good on them. But noted in this article is one of the reps in Maine that says, even though this was killed, it'll come up again. So the battles just keep going. Evil people have a tremendous amount of energy to just keep going. And stores are locking up everything now? What?
Look at this shit right here. Look. They got the candy doing hard time here. Look how locked up this is. I mean, this is like Hannibal Lecter locked up. This might be the only way to solve obesity in America. We might need to do this. Every piece of candy needs to be behind bulletproof glass. It's the only way. Look at this shit right here.
It's a friggin' madhouse. Yes. Society one step closer to dystopia. Vision Pro early adopters spotted in wild. Oh boy, I didn't know what this was until I got to the last video. $4,000. It's a mixed reality headset. Apple Vision Pro hit store shelves on Friday. Early adopters have already been spotted in the wild. Oof. Let's begin with The Simpsons that predicted this future. What a surprise.
Medicina de Harvard, John Hopkins.
This man was arrested for using Apple Vision Pro while driving a Tesla. And he didn't even take off his Vision Pro. Oh my God. What are we living? What the hell are we living? I'm feeling very, I don't know what I'm feeling, but I'm still with a flip-top phone. I'm gonna be lost in the woods. What's going on, man? Oh, all right. There is a video down here. Okay, here.
Like what?
That's
Do I
wild.
look like real?
Yeah, I mean, your eyes are closed. There's too much teeth, I think. I don't know.
I want to make a review. Come help me.
All right, sounds good.
All right, meet you downstairs at 5.
All right.
All right, if you want like a normal review of this thing, I can't recommend enough to go watch Marques Brownlee's. His is fantastic. This is a different, like, I kind of have a different take on this and different questions, and that's what this is. But Marques is really good.
What is this thing that I'm holding? Literally.
You're on life.
How do you find it? I've had it for like an hour. Yeah, okay. Can you put windows up now if you want to? Yeah, so like I can put a window up now, but when I start walking, they like go away. They fade away. Yeah, cool. Well, enjoy. Take care. All right, you too, man.
All right, I'll put the oh, it's a zero hedge. Let's go. Twitter. And oh, I don't know if I can get this link in. It might have too many characters. Let's see. Yeah, too many characters. All right, you're gonna have to do your own research on Apple's Vision Pro, where they can access the internet just by looking into this thing. That's why you see all of the hands going up and playing around, but it doesn't seem to be
The
working very well.
sensors to like lock onto. It doesn't know where to put stuff. But standing at a subway stop watching a Mr. Beast video is a pretty special. It's a pretty special experience. Hold on, Jordan. Let me try to figure out how to.
Special. It's special. And yeah, I'm afraid that a whole lot of people are just gone. You know, God forbid this woman has a Free Gaza sticker on her computer.
There's a site that's she's allowed to have that wherever she likes. I know.
That it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. It does not say that. I want my people to be free. I want my people to be free.
I'm calling the police. There's no need. If she doesn't switch that up, I'm calling the police right now. With me, I'm calling. Unfortunately, she can do that. She cannot do it. I'm calling the police right now.
He's calling the police right now.
I'm doing that, sir. I'm calling the police.
Why are you calling
That's
the police?
fine.
What did I do to you? What did I do to you?
I don't want to be recorded and broadcast. on social media.
You're harassing me, so I can tell the police you're harassing me.
You're harassing me.
Who's harassing who?
I don't have any issues with you. I'm just asking you some questions. That's all.
You're harassing me. You're not asking questions, you're harassing me.
Did she ask?
You approached me.
I want to blow up this coffee shop and I'm
Do I have that here? That doesn't say that. I want my people to be freed.
Well, I would take that off.
I'm not taking anything off. This is a free country.
She is taking that down.
I'm not taking this down. This is not illegal. Alone! They want our people dead! They want us killed!
And so part of
Who's harassing who? People have lost it. And he says that, she wants to blow up the coffee shop. Really? She's sitting there, having coffee, working on her computer. Just happens to say Free Gaza. All right. How dare you? We have a lot of problems. We really have a lot of problems. We really have a lot of problems. And a lot of those problems are stemming from the American people. Do we have to get ourselves right? Yeah. And a whole lot of us we ain't right. And I don't claim to be right. I think I'm still not right. But I'm much better than I ever have been. Yeah. Live honestly and speak honestly. That's the only way that we can create a healthy society. And even though people are not doing it, it doesn't give you permission to not do it. We are the people of the lie. Yeah. So, thank you all for showing up. Regardless of, any conflict that I've had with subscribers, I don't want any of you to suffer the consequences of the evil that is really creating for an awful lot of people a lot of suffering. And please, in your communities, be a source of good. Bring your best self to life every single day, no matter how tired you are. It's important. Very important for your soul, for sure. And be safe, because things are really heating up now. And on that note, I say to each and every one of you, good night and good luck. Ciao, guys.